17 for the next President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump.
Donald Trump is officially the Republican nominee for president. We have the latest from day 2 of the convention.
She says it was self-defense.
I just wanted him to stop.
We are hearing from a woman charged with murder months after police say she killed her ex-boyfriend.
A state report makes some scathing accusations against a high school football program, how it says underclassmen were hazed.
The Fox 56 10 o'clock news starts now.
Good evening. A big day at the Republican National Convention. Donald Trump is now the official Republican nominee for president.
Trump got the votes needed and more during a roll call of states at the convention this evening. Among the delegates was Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin, who spoke on behalf of the state.
From a state where our citizens still respect God and the Constitution and our military and our police officers, it is our honor to cast our vote. 7 for Governor Kasich, 7 for Senator Rubio, 15 for Senator Cruz, and 17 for the next President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump.
Joel Waldman is in Cleveland with the latest from day 2, first on Fox.
And another 6 for John Kasich. Congratulations, Dad. We love you.
In a state-by-state roll call, it was Donald Trump's son, Donald Jr., making it official.
It's not a campaign anymore. It's a movement. Speaking to real Americans, giving them a voice again.
With the announcement of New York State's GOP delegate support, Donald Trump Jr. pushing his father's delegate count over the number needed to earn the Republican nomination.
It is my honor to be able to throw Donald Trump over the top in the delegate count tonight with 89 delegates.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce that Governor Michael Pence has the overwhelming support of this convention to be the next Vice President of the United States.
Outside the convention halls, it was a day marked by tense demonstrations in the streets of Cleveland, including some clashes with police and a number of protesters carrying guns. Meantime, back inside the Q Arena, the focus of Tuesday night's speeches, jobs, and the economy.
Donald has great business instincts. He supports businesses of all sizes. He'll make it possible for them to grow and succeed, which is the backbone of a strong economy.
In Cleveland, Joel Waldman, Fox News.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz received nearly 500 delegates. He's set to speak Wednesday evening, but it's still unclear whether he'll endorse Donald Trump. To keep up with the latest from the Republican National Convention, you can watch it live streaming on foxlexington.com.
It's been 3 months since police say a Powell County woman shot her ex-boyfriend to death, and today a grand jury indicted her for murder. State police arrested 33-year-old Melissa Roberts this afternoon, but she says she shot her ex in self-defense. Monique Blair talked to Roberts from jail.
I just shot him and he's laying on the floor. I just killed a man alive.
Melissa Roberts made that 911 phone call moments after she shot her estranged boyfriend, Stephen Strange, on April 20th. Roberts says she and Strange had an on-again, off-again relationship and that he often abused her.
I didn't tell him no. I didn't defy him because I knew what would happen if I did.
What would happen?
I would get hurt.
The shooting happened here at this home on Cow Creek Road, and after the shooting happened in April, Powell County Sheriff's deputies told us they had responded to this home on numerous occasions. At the time of the shooting, court records show Roberts had an emergency protective order against Strange.
And he came anyway.
Roberts says the day before and then the day of the shooting, she was being harassed by Strange. She says she made several calls to police, but before they could respond, Roberts says Strange came into her home, and that's when she shot him.
I didn't mean to. I didn't want him to die. I just wanted him to stop.
Tuesday afternoon, Roberts was arrested and charged with murder. State police have not yet publicly released a cause for the charge.
The way it was explained to us is that there was not, he had not done any physical violence to her whatsoever.
Stephen Strange's sister says she does not harbor hateful feelings towards Melissa Roberts, but she says she does want to see justice served.
I know that they had a very difficult relationship and everything, but I mean, I knew Stephen loved her very much, and as far as I know, she loved him too.
In Powell County, Monique Blair for the Fox 56 10 o'clock news.
Police have not released the documents explaining why a grand jury decided to charge Roberts with murder.
A jury heard from first responders today in a Lexington murder trial. Matthew Donahue is accused of stabbing his boyfriend, Todd Schumacher, to death last year. Police and firefighters described the night they found Schumacher's body, saying it was a bloody scene. Donahue says Schumacher tried to strangle him and calls the stabbing self-defense. Attorneys focused on how Donahue acted the night Schumacher was killed.
He was, I guess you could describe it as almost shock. Okay. But just scared, basically.
When you were talking to him, you said his eyes were closing. Was he, doing this, didn't want to look at you, or was he kind of, slow wing? What was it?
Donahue is not eligible for the death penalty. The judge expects the trial to end Thursday.
A Lexington man accused of threatening to kill police officers in 2 states will be released from jail next week. Raynell White pled guilty to multiple misdemeanor charges this morning. Police arrested him last week after they say he made threatening calls to 3 police departments in Texas and Michigan. In each case, police say he made reference to shooting of Dallas police officers. As part of his plea, White will serve 8 more days in jail, and he cannot have further contact with those police departments.
An old coach is at the center of a new report. A state investigation claims to have found evidence of hazing among the Rowan County High School football program. Investigators claim some players even ended up injured because of it. They say it happened a few years ago while a previous coach was in charge. Hillary Thornton has reaction from players and school leaders.
Ray Graham took the reins of the Rowan County High School football program back in 2014. In those first 2 months, parents say stories started of senior players mistreating underclassmen. They also claim under Graham's leadership, several younger players suffered head injuries. Those numbers given in the Office of Education Accountability report stating the first year there were 4 concussions reported, all during practice. The next year, Vikings players suffered 12 concussions, only 4 of those during games. We spoke to several parents, all off camera, who say their children experienced the alleged negative culture firsthand. The report saying those parents claim they met with Principal Ray Ginter and Superintendent Marvin Moore about the bullying, hazing, concussions during practice, lack of discipline, and the injuries inflicted by senior players. Those parents say as a result, nothing was done. The report finding the superintendent and principal violated state law by failing to investigate and provide a safe school.
I'm a middle school coach, and I actually sat in on some of those meetings that Coach Graham had with some of the kids. And I know I've talked to the staff, some of the staff members out there as well. It was addressed.
While some parents say all of the problems found in that OEA report are 100% true, others who support Coach Graham say they've been blown out of proportion.
I was proud to say that I played for Coach Graham.
Trevor Utterback, an underclassman during the seasons in question.
And he never let one person hurt another player, haze, anything. Nothing like that went on. And that's coming from me as a freshman.
Graham's contract not renewed for the upcoming season. His attorney saying the coach denies the findings in the OEA report.
Yeah, you kind of miss him a little bit, to be honest with you.
Hillary Thornton for the Fox 56 10 o'clock news.
In a statement, Rowan County Superintendent Marvin Moore said this was a personnel issue that was addressed as soon as it was brought to school leaders' attention.
Nicholasville police are trying to find a man they say robbed a grocery store early this morning. Police say around 3:30 a man walked into the Kroger on South Main Street and asked a cashier at the self-checkout line for change for a $50 bill. When the cashier opened the drawer, police say the man pulled out a knife and demanded all the money inside. He then ran out the front door. Police say the surveillance video is pretty clear, so they hope someone will recognize the robber. Police in Somerset have also released pictures of several theft suspects tonight. They say 4 people broke into the First Baptist Church on Main Street in Somerset last week. Police believe the 4 suspects got in through a side window and stole several items. Police say they are not releasing the suspects' names, but they say they know who they are.
We are in for some steamy, stormy weather the next few days.
We could see some of our hottest stretch of the summer this week. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a first look at the forecast.
Yeah, starting out there right now, those temperatures this afternoon hitting 90 into many areas of central and eastern Kentucky, and that is a sign of things to come. Even late this evening, those readings are having a very tough time dropping below 80 right now. 81 Lexington and Richmond. We're 80 in the capital city, down to London, a few pockets of some mid-70s. Those are areas that actually picked up on a little bit of shower and thunderstorm action earlier in the day. Fox radar picture dry across the Bluegrass State. Let's focus, though, on what is going on back to our northwest. This is where we have a little complex of thunderstorms. Warm front is right on top of the area. What can typically happen in a case like this, you can get a thunderstorm complex to kind of ride down the old train tracks that is that stalled out boundary. That can give us at least the possibility for a stray storm or two later tonight and early into the day tomorrow. We take the front off there to give you a little better indication of that thunderstorm complex and what is happening. That's on the leading edge of the really hot air that is coming in from the west. That will arrive over the next few days. That's right, it gets a little hotter before the week is over. Small chance for a shower or thunderstorm if you're hitting the pool tomorrow, with temperatures that again make a run toward 90. Guys, we'll come back and look at a pattern that will focus some heat and humidity across the region, but also that heat's going to have to fight some thunderstorms. We'll show you what I mean by that with a 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Chris. If you want to brave that heat tomorrow, UK is inviting folks to come out to Commonwealth Stadium tomorrow evening to catch Pokemon.
The Pokemon Go craze shows no signs of slowing down, and it looks as if there are plenty of Pokemon to catch on the football field at Commonwealth Stadium. The stadium will be open from 4:30 to 6:30. Just park in the red lot and go in gate 9.
Obviously, the field is not available on game day to people who are coming out, so this is a unique opportunity to get out here on the field, and if nothing else, just take some pictures on the field.
And in case you were wondering, there's also a Pokemon gym just outside the stadium.
Oh boy,
people
here we
who
go.
play will know what that means.
They will, yeah. You can tell we're not experts at the game here. It's the dog days of summer, and more people are spending time outside.
It's common sense. It saves lives.
After the break, the potential dangers of spending too much time in the heat.
Lawyers.
As the temperatures climb this week, doctors across the region are issuing some warnings.
While you may want to enjoy the sunshine, spending too much time outside can be dangerous. Mike Linden breaks down how to stay safe out in those hot temperatures.
It's another beautiful day in the Bluegrass. Woodland Park in Lexington is packed.
This park has shade though, so it's a little bit more bearable, but it gets really hot for sure.
Usually I'll have a water bottle out with me.
Don't be fooled by the sunshine. Doctors say days like these can quickly become dangerous.
The higher the temperature goes, the more difficulty our body has dissipating the heat that we build up.
Without proper hydration, Dr. Stanton says heat-related illnesses become a big deal.
Well, there's no certain temperature. It all has to do with the person.
It starts with heat cramps, and with more exposure to the sun can lead to heat exhaustion.
That's that next level where you're actually starting to build up that temperature, start to feel very fatigued, very tired, may start to have some confusion, difficulty with fine motor skills.
That's why hydration plays a huge part in keeping yourself and your family safe this summer. Dr. Stanton says when picking a beverage to stay hydrated, you want to be careful what's in that beverage. He says something like caffeine, like what's in soda, or even in iced tea isn't a good choice. He says the best choice is always water. With plenty more of the summer left, Dr. Stanton says keeping yourself safe comes down to common sense.
It's kind of like wearing your seatbelt. It's common sense. It saves lives. It's the same way with the heat. Do the things you need to do to keep you and yourself, your family, your neighbors safe.
In Lexington, Mike Linden for the Fox 56 10 o'clock news.
Dr. Stanton says heat-related illness can be deadly, especially heat stroke.
He says if someone is showing symptoms, confusion, chest pain, or lack of sweating, to call 911.
You're watching Fox 56, your primetime news source. You can like us on Facebook at Fox Lexington.
Still to come, the music is rousing at the Republican convention, but one band doesn't want any part of it.
You may not want a whole lot of the heat and humidity on the way across central and eastern Kentucky. We'll track the steam and the increasing storms threat when I come back in just a moment. Stay with us.
The Wear Shop.
Putting the wraps on a very steamy Tuesday across the good old bluegrass state of Kentucky. Temperatures making a run toward 90 into many areas, but as we often say, it's not so much the heat, it's the humidity off the charts again today, and it's going to climb as the week goes on. We do have a little weak cold front on top of the region now. Farther to the north into the Ohio Valley, it's not that bad. 70s are showing up. Still some low 80s, though, into central Kentucky. 81, a popular number on that Interstate 75 corridors, Covington, Cincinnati, into Lexington, Richmond, London. We're checking in at 80 degrees. Most thermometers into eastern Kentucky into the upper 70s. A steamy day out there. How about this shot from my Kentucky Weather Twitter feed here in Lexington? Not a whole lot of haze just yet. Hang tight. You're going to get the haze part of the 3H weather coming up a little later this week. Fox radar picture has been awfully calm across Kentucky for the better part of the day. Now we're starting to amp it up a little bit. Thunderstorm cluster here across the St. Louis area that is following a warm front that is right on the back edge of this weak boundary lying across southeastern Kentucky. And what's going to happen with that is that it can continue to fire up at least a scattered thunderstorm or two into the day tomorrow. Will most areas stay dry? Very likely, but again, at any point tomorrow, we're in this summertime pattern. You can get a booming shower or thunderstorm. Temperatures that make a run toward 90 degrees. The core of the heat, though, is out across parts of the Plain States, the upper Ohio Valley, and most of the Mississippi Valley. Here in the Bluegrass State, we're on the eastern side of the really hot stuff, and that is a pattern where you can typically get thunderstorms to dive in northwest to southeast. And that's a trend we will watch for as not only we go into tomorrow, but really I think Thursday, Friday, and into the coming weekend. That isn't to say it's not going to be hot. It's going to be hot. It's just that the worst of the heat is going to be just to our west. Let's walk you through the next few days, hour by hour forecast. 7 o'clock in the morning, upper 60s to low 70s. AC is going to run wide open all night long. That's the moral of the story. Isolated shower thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon, upper 80s to low 90s, depending on where you are. You get a shower thunderstorm, obviously that temperature will come down a little bit. Heading into Thursday, we have the potential, at least a little better shot for a thunderstorm or two to go up. And look at what it does to the temperatures. 80s, where we get a shower thunderstorm, 90s outside of that. Then for the day on Friday, we'll make a run toward the low 90s, but with the possibility of at least some scattered showers and some thunderstorms. 7-day forecast, middle of the week, most areas will be right around 90. I think Friday continues to give us the best day to see the real heat in here. Very steamy. We could hit the low and mid 90s. Long range call, though, late weekend, early next week. Thunderstorms are going to kind of fight the heat and may win the battle by the time we roll into the early part of next week.
We haven't seen a stretch that hot in a long time.
It certainly has not happened this summer. It's been since last summer, but you know what? It was bound to happen. And for me, this is just a normal July brand of air coming in.
Well, I'm just glad it's not a washout with all that rain on the forecast over there.
Check back with me next week. You may not say that. I think next week turns stormy again.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right, thank you, Chris.
You got it, guys.
A clash between music and politics and a delay for the Game of Thrones.
It's all in tonight's Look Inside Entertainment.
Legendary rockers Queen have come out against the unauthorized use of their music at the Republican National Convention Monday night. The band took to Twitter denouncing Donald Trump's entrance to their iconic hit, We Are the Champions. It's not the first time the presidential hopeful has used Queen's music without permission during his campaign.
Sad news for Game of Thrones fans. HBO announced Monday that not only has a later shooting schedule pushed the hit series premiere to summer of 2017, but the season will be shortened to just 7 episodes rather than the usual 10.
Maybe it was a bad romance after all. According to People magazine, Lady Gaga and Taylor Kinney have ended their engagement. They've been together for 5 years. Kinney proposed last year on Valentine's Day. TMZ says the couple split earlier this month. Reps for the stars have not commented. That's tonight's Look Inside Entertainment.
Coming up, is he in or is he out? Why the man behind Fox News could soon lose his job.
And another officer shot. What police in Kansas City say happened the moments before one of their own was killed. Next in News Notes.
Clock News is brought to you by O'Donnell Family Dentistry.
Police in Kansas City have made an arrest in the shooting death of a police officer today.
That tops tonight's Fox 56 News notes. Police in Kansas City say Kansas Police Captain Robert Melton was shot while in his patrol car this afternoon. They say he was looking for suspects from a shots fired complaint. Police say he was shot when he pulled up to a person who matched a suspect's description. Investigators are not sure why Captain Melton was shot.
Baton Rouge police now say the man behind Sunday's police ambush is the lone gunman. Gavin Long shot 6 officers, killing 3 and injuring 3 others. Investigators are still trying to figure out if anyone knew about this plan. 2 of the wounded officers have been released from the hospital, but 1 is still in critical condition.
German investigators say the Afghan teenager who stabbed several people on a train yesterday had gotten word a friend of his had died in Afghanistan. The 17-year-old is said to have vowed to take revenge in a note he wrote before the attack. 5 people were injured before the teen was killed by police. ISIS has claimed responsibility.
Roger Ailes could soon lose his job as the head of Fox News. A CNN source says talks are underway that could lead to Ailes being ousted. He started the news network in 1996 and has run it ever since then. Ailes denies accusations that he sexually harassed some women at the network. Ex-anchor Gretchen Carlson sued him for sexual harassment earlier this month.
We have more local headlines coming up in the next half hour. Dozens of administrators in Jessamine County are preparing for one of the worst situations they could ever imagine.
I have to have help to get out of bed.
Plus, a woman tells us what she's been through since she was hit by a driver last month.
Coming up in sports, Mark Stoops at the ESPN Car Wash answering more questions about the upcoming season. We will also check in on EKU as everything is new in the land of maroon. To the NBA, Jamal Murray signs his first professional contract, and we introduce you to a 5th grade world champion. That and more in the Fox 56 Sports Extra.
The only thing
You're watching the Fox 56 10 o'clock news with Marvin Bartlett, Erica Abe, Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey, and Brian Milam on sports.
She suffered serious injuries when a car hit her moped nearly a month ago. And tonight, a Boyle County woman wants to know who's responsible.
The driver of the car did not stop after hitting Angela Fox near the intersection of Highway 2168 and US 127, just outside Danville. And police still haven't found that person. Sean Moody talks to Fox about the crash and her recovery.
Those oil spots there on the shoulder at 2168 mark the spot where Angela Fox's very last moped ride came to an end. A car hit her from behind here along the road and knocked her out of control. She's thankful she's still alive, but she's frustrated that driver is still out there. Life has been a lot different for Angela Fox since June 20th.
Hell. Living hell. I'm in pain every day. I have to have help to get out of bed. It's not a fun life.
She said she was driving her moped home from work late that night. As she drove along 2168, she noticed another car approaching behind her.
He hit me right in the tail end. All these scratches is where the scooter actually slid down the road with me. So I had to literally drag myself to my scooter to get my phone. When he saw me move, he left.
Fox was in the hospital for days with neck injuries. She's thankful it wasn't worse.
Thank God I had my helmet on, because I honestly believe I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that.
Fox wants whoever was behind the wheel of that car to own up to what happened.
If you've got a heart, let somebody know. Tell somebody. I'm not out to prosecute nobody, but have a heart. And probably an apology is all I would need. I go on with life.
She said her doctor expects her to make a full recovery. Even so, she says she's driven that moped for the last time.
I'm done with it. It's too scary. If you're scared of something, you can get hurt on it.
Angela says she hopes to be able to go back to work sometime soon. In Boyle County, Sean Moody, the Fox 56 10 o'clock news.
An investigator at the Boyle County Sheriff's Office said none of their leads so far have panned out.
The Knox County grand jury will hear the case of a man accused of stabbing his mother and stepfather. 35-year-old Joe Gibson was riding in a car with Connie Smith and Randy Smith when police say he cut their throats. Both of them were taken to UK hospital. Gibson is charged with attempted murder. This morning, his case was waived to the grand jury. It will be heard on August 29th. Police have arrested a man accused of exposing himself on a playground. Corbin police have charged Thomas Gilbert with 2 counts of indecent exposure and 2 counts of disorderly conduct. Police say a Corbin Middle School staff member witnessed the incident at a park near the school and called them. According to an arrest citation, Gilbert also exposed himself earlier in the day while walking down Alta Avenue and again during his arrest.
A phone scam involving callers claiming they're collecting money for families of fallen officers is making its way around southern Kentucky. The caller says they are with the American Police Academy and they claim the money is for families of murdered police officers. Somerset police say it's tough to know how reputable the agency is.
Citizens in the area are receiving phone calls from an American Police Academy. We've been unable to verify that as a legitimate police training agency. As far as we know, it's not in Kentucky and nowhere else that we can find.
Police say if you are willing to give money, find a reputable charity and don't wait until someone calls you. Hazard police are looking for a woman tonight wanted for questioning in a case involving stolen debit and credit card numbers. They posted this picture to Facebook. Police are just calling her a person of interest at this time.
It's training they hope they'll never have to use. Today, employees in the Jessamine County School District prepared for school emergencies, including what to do if a shooter gets inside. Dozens of employees got together at East Jessamine High School for a shots fired training simulation. The Nicholasville Police Department helped coordinate the training. It tried to make the situation as real as possible.
I don't know that anyone ever gets used to the sound of that ringing in the hallway, knowing that it is a bullet. But hearing it for the first time is quite emotional.
Jessamine County School Superintendent Kathy Fields says the county is the first district in the state to coordinate a large-scale active shooter simulation.
A big honor for a Lexington police officer. The department has named a woman to the position of assistant chief. Melissa Sedlacek is just the second woman in the department's history to earn the rank of assistant chief. She tells us she's ready to take on her new role in the department.
I don't know that I came on the police department 26 years ago with this goal in mind. But I did want to get promoted along the way and do different things in the police department, and reaching the rank of assistant chief is just a great opportunity for me.
Sedlacek will also lead the Bureau of Special Operations. She was assigned as the Bureau's commander 6 months ago.
This week's heat wave may have you thinking of a cool getaway, but this winter, southern destinations may be more to your liking. Up next, a low-cost airline will offer some new nonstop flights from northern Kentucky. Find out where you could go.
Then her speech didn't win rave reviews, but her dress did. How Mrs. Trump made a fashion statement.
Taking your kitchen drawers and cabinets from being a
Maryville Furniture, quality furniture, discount prices.
Warm travel destinations, the success of a dress, and taking advantage of the Pokemon craze.
Here are 5 things to know before you go to bed. Kentuckians looking for a warm place to travel to this winter will have some new options. Frontier Airlines is adding 3 new destinations from the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport. The low-cost carrier will offer nonstop flights to Tampa and Fort Lauderdale starting in October, and flights to Cancun will start in December.
Start snoozing. People between the ages of 18 and 60 need to sleep at least 7 hours a night. That's according to 2 major sleep-related associations. But a national survey by the CDC shows more than 1/3 of Americans sleep less than 7 hours. Research shows the less sleep you get, the more risk you have for obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and mental illness.
Chick-fil-A is serving up good news for breakfast lovers. For the first time in 6 years, the fast food chain has announced an addition to its breakfast menu. The Egg White Grill features grilled chicken and egg whites topped with American cheese on a multi-grain muffin.
Melania Trump's speech in Cleveland last night was apparently a great ad for her dress. The white Roxanda dress sold out in all available sizes less than an hour after the speech. The silk cotton knee-length dress goes for almost $2,200.
An Indiana animal shelter is using the Pokemon Go craze to help its shelter animals get more exercise. The Muncie shelter launched the Pokemon Dogs Volunteer Program just a week ago. The results have been staggering. Hundreds of volunteers have showed up to take a shelter dog for a walk while they search for Pokemon. 5 times more than the usual number of volunteers. There you go, 5 things to know before you go to bed. Well, if you're going to walk the dog tomorrow or hunt for Pokemon or both, you better get up early.
Anything you're going to do. Things will get hotter as the day goes on. Let's get the latest from Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
I like where your heads are. Killing two birds with one stone, huh? Take Fido for a walk, find a Pikachu out there. All right, here we go with our Fox radar picture for now. A warm front draped across the Ohio Valley, Mississippi Valley, and we are getting in on at least a little cluster of some showers and some thunderstorms beginning to dive in from northwest to southeast. That's mainly going to impact the western parts of the state, but we are getting a little offshoot cloudiness now into parts of central and eastern Kentucky. And what this is telling me is that tonight may be signaling where we're going with the potential for at least some clusters of thunderstorms diving in northwest to southeast. Right now, that Fox radar picture has nothing going on across central and eastern Kentucky. We had some occasional showers and thunderstorms far southern parts of the area a little earlier. And if you look closely enough here in the parts of Marion County, we tried our very, very best to crank up a thunderstorm or two. That just did not happen. Right now, temperatures upper 70s to low 80s into most areas. 81 still. Lexington, Richmond, Covington, Mount Sterling right now checking in as the cool spot. 73 muggy degrees late this evening, so that cooler air is still way to our north. Is it going to get in here? Short answer, no. 90-ish tomorrow, upper 80s to around 90 into Thursday too. Guys, Friday may end up being the hottest day that we've had so far this summer. Low to maybe mid-90s, heat index around 100. Any day could feature a thunderstorm. Best storm chances come late Sunday into Monday and Tuesday.
All right, thank you, Chris. Despite the heat, all in all, it's been a good week for the Lexington Lions Club Bluegrass Fair. If you'd like to go to the fair, we're giving away 4 unlimited ride tickets right now to the first person who gets through on our contest line, 859-268-2665. That's 268-2665. Keep watching each night for more chances to call and win.
And those are popular, getting a lot of calls about those.
Absolutely.
When we come back, we go to London, Kentucky and introduce you to a 5th grader who is a world champion.
And earlier today, Mark Stoops went through the ESPN car wash. Brian Milam has your Fox 56 Sports Extra next.
This portion's time now for the Fox 56 Sports Extra.
All of the SEC football coaches heading up to ESPN headquarters yesterday and today for what's called the ESPN Car Wash. They appear on various platforms throughout the afternoon, and of course, Mark Stoops was among them. His team has come so close to a bowl game the last 2 seasons, 5-7 record. Stoops said 2 years ago it would have been a miracle to make it to a bowl game, but not this past season.
This past year it was disappointing because we did have the team to do that. You know, our margin for error is very small. I felt like there was just one game out there. We lost a couple close games. We won a couple close games. And I really felt like there was one opponent where we really outplayed and came out on the short end of the stick. And that can't happen. We don't have that margin for error. We've got to do a better job of putting them in position to be successful and closing out those victories. We need more depth, more strength, more mental maturity within our program. We've worked hard with that this past off season, and we're ready to go this year.
Now, Stoops believes there's plenty to be excited about. UK will unveil its new practice facility later this week, and fall camp just a little more than 2 weeks away. What is the first thing he will ask his players when they come in?
What have we done? You know, did we increase our capacity to handle more? Can we pay attention to detail for longer periods of time when we're in our meetings and studying film? Can we practice at a high level and have that attention to detail and that focus for an entire practice, for an entire week, for an entire camp? And, you know, how much did we mature in that area?
And as we have the last couple of days, we're counting it down to kickoff of the UK football season. 46 days now, and 46, the number worn by linebacker Ronnie Snead and the great defensive back, former UK coach Jerry Claiborne. In 1946, the Bear Bryant became UK's head coach, and last year, Juice Johnson got 46 passes. The EKU football program continues to adjust to a new coach for only the 3rd time in the last 50 years. Mark Elder has been in charge since December, and he is stressing an up-tempo style of practice with an intensity level the players say has been a big adjustment. Everything within the program is brand new for everyone.
They're having a whole new set of standards, a whole new set of expectations, really a whole new culture that they have to live up to. And so it's hardest on them, and they've done a tremendous job of adjusting to the changes, and I have to give compliments to those guys on how they've handled that stuff.
He's a high energy guy, just high energy at practice, high energy at scrimmages, everything, and he's very optimistic going in, and you can tell he's authentic. You can tell he truly cares about the players and everybody on the team. So.
Jamal Murray has signed his NBA contract with the Denver Nuggets. According to the NBA's rookie wage scale, Murray will make $6.6 million his first 2 seasons with the Nuggets. Denver holds the options on years 3 and 4. Murray was the 7th pick in this year's draft, and a major setback for Jody Meeks, who was just acquired by the Orlando Magic from Detroit. Meeks underwent surgery today on the 5th metatarsal in his right foot. He will be sidelined indefinitely. His return will depend on, obviously, how he responds to rehab. Meeks broke the bone last year, missing most of the season. The National Archery in the school, the National Archery programs, they were launched in 21 Kentucky middle schools in 2002. Since then, it has expanded to 27 states and Canada and is taught in grades 4 through 12. The top female archer in the world is from right here in Kentucky. Lee K. Howard has her story.
This is one of the targets that I won.
Not many people,
And that's the trophy.
can claim to be the best in the world.
And this is the plaque.
But in London, Kentucky, Savannah Philpott is just that.
And then you pull it back and focus on your aim point and shoot, and then don't miss it.
The 11-year-old recently claimed first place at the National Archery in the Schools program World Tournament in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Going into it, I knew she was really nervous, and what I told her, I said, we're not worried about the other scores. I said, we're going to focus on shooting your best score.
Savannah's score of 295 out of a possible 300 not only was tops among all elementary females, but it was the best overall score for the 2,000 female archers in grades 4 through 12.
I just didn't know what to do.
If Savannah was nervous competing against the other top archers, she didn't show it, scoring back-to-back perfect rounds to start the competition.
I didn't know what to do because I got 250s in the beginning, so I was just all excited.
By the end of the 5th round, her dad knew she was on target to accomplish something special.
At that time, I looked back at my wife and told her, I said, not only is this looking like maybe a top finish in elementary, I said, she's running for overall. And then that last round, she needed a 49 to put her at a 295. And she shot a 295 on the last scoring round and finished with a 295 out of 300.
In winning the competition, she made history by being the first 5th grader to win top overall female in the world competition. In London, Lee K. Howard for the Fox 56 Sports Extra.
And former UK linebacker Danny Trevathan, now Chicago Bear, today was at the friendly confines of Wrigley Field throwing out the first pitch, and like a leader should, Trevathan throws it right down the middle of the plate. Attaboy, strike 3 call on the pitch. That's a look at sports. We'll be right back.
If you have a news tip, call our hotline at 859-299-8630.
Well, Chris Bailey, this forecast you cooked up is a little bit scary.
Well, I like that you use the word cooked because that's basically what the weather's going to be doing over the next several days. Low 90s, good possibility. Friday, if we can stay sunny for the better part of the day, low to mid 90s will be likely. Heat index may hit 100. That's what it may feel like at times. Wow. Watch for a scattered thunderstorm. Best storm chances over the next 7 days will come late this weekend into early next week, and that's when the heat is likely to head back to the west. And you know what that means? The stormy pattern kicks back in.
Oh boy, here we go.
The storms aren't happening, the pools are bound to be busy.
Absolutely. Good day for swimming.
Thanks for being with us. Hope you're back with us again tomorrow night at 10 o'clock.
Have a great evening.
What's your New Subaru from Quantrell. Discover why Subarus are preferred by people of all ages with active lifestyles. During July, own a new 2017 Forester for only $24,390, or lease it for just $224 per month. Or own a new Crosstrek for only $23,880, or lease it for just $229 per month. Summertime fun is waiting for you, so grab it with a new Subaru from Quantrell. We have great lease and finance specials during our huge summer sale.
Do you suffer from 3 to 8 migraine headaches per month? If so, you may qualify to participate in a clinical research study of an investigational medication at CKRA. Qualified participants will receive all study-related medical exams, lab tests, and study medication or placebo at no cost. Compensation may be available for your time and travel. For more information or to see if you may qualify, call CKRA today at 859-264-8999 or visit CKRAresearch.com.
Hey, I'm Jordan. I'm Ryan. I'm Jeremy. This is our show.